the great Muscombe oak tree, and it's a notable tree, and it's located in the small town of Muscombe, which is not far from Sherwood Forest. And the tree is under protection order with the Woodland Trust, hence it's on the notable tree register. But because it's on private land, it's at risk of being cut down so that the landowner can develop it. And it seems that tree protection orders don't really have very much weight at all when it comes to protecting trees. So yeah, we're going to see what we can do to try and reverse that danger that the tree is under. So I've agreed to paint the tree's portrait for a lady who's going to be running a campaign to try and see what we can do, basically. We don't know how it's all going to pan out, but that's what we're doing. And my commitment is to paint the tree in a rather magical setting to celebrate the tree's magnificence, its ancient wisdom, all of the animals that live around and with it. So it's quite a fantastical piece, realism bordering on fantasy, really. And that gives me plenty of artistic license to put animals everywhere. So today I'm painting a long-eared owl onto the painting. And that was a request from Ruth, so thank you, Ruth, for that one. So let's see how it goes. So I'm going to twizzle the camera around and find out how to do that again. I really need to learn how to do this properly. Right, so here we are. So a white wall, very exciting. And there is the painting. And hopefully you can see, oops, the picture's falling down. Hopefully you can see this part of the painting. So I've got myself set up with my paints already here. And I'm just going to twist that so it's in the dark a little bit. I've got the reference photo and put that on the floor. And I've already sketched it out, so you won't probably see the outline of this, but hopefully you will when we get going. So I'm going to pull my easel and my table into the right place. So I'm going to need to lean with my hands, so I don't want to be holding my palette. Got my trusty cloths ready. So looking at the colours, I'm going to start with the white first. And I'm going to use this brush, which is a script or a rigger brush. And I'm using linseed oil to give the painting some flow, to give the oil some flow. Because when you're painting very fine detail, oils, they're great when they're thick for large areas, but for small fine detail work, I prefer to thin it with linseed. Now it's still a little bit tacky from the last time I worked on it, but that's fine for what we're doing here. So to start with, I'm putting down a white outline. And I know that the whole owl isn't white, and I can go into that colour with different colours, but it just helps to give me a framework to paint into. It'll look like a white blob for quite a bit of video, unfortunately. I'm trying to get used to adding commentary as I paint, but I really find it quite difficult because I'm concentrating on what I'm doing with my hands. Maybe if it was a big expressive piece, like a Bob Ross that's sort of done in do and its painting's done, then I might be able to talk a bit more. But this is very much a thoughtful piece. good thing about oil paints, though, is they're very forgiving, and if you do make a mistake, you can go over them when they're dry. But it's preferable not to make any mistakes. So there's my white outline. And now I can start mixing a little bit of detail. I haven't worked on a painting this scale since I painted the Great London Plane Tree of Ely, which is the tallest and largest, as in the widest girth, London plane tree in the UK. And again, that tree needed some money raising for it to look after it. So a group of artists, myself included, sort of joined together, and we went and painted it with the idea that the paintings went into an exhibition, and it would raise awareness for hopefully donations. That tree went on to win some lottery heritage fund money, which is great news because now it can have all of the care that it needs. It's very warm in the studio, but I can't have the windows open because there's a few wasps around and I don't want any wasps in. And I can't have the fan on because it's too noisy. But I shall put it on once I've finished showing you this. Right, I'm going to change to a different brush now and then lay down some different colour sections. Just need a bit of glue. Problem with oils is they get stuck quite quickly in the tube. Luckily, there's an easy remedy, and that's to trim the end off. Right, so that's the base layers. Have to work on all of the detail over the top, but those are the basic blocks of colour. So that's all for now. As you can see, there's a lot to do. I'm going to be adding a stag, a fox, a badger, a hare, and then anything else anyone wants me to add. So if there's an animal you'd like me to put on here, then put in the comments and I'll add it. Bye for now. I'll just turn the camera around.